on the verge of collapse.
So you are
Good.
So when did you return to Hyderabad? You were in the US, no?
I'm still in US. I just came to
Oh,
visit my mom. So
Charlie sir always, he tells about you. He has high regard of you always. Me too.
yes, sir.
We
I
are
know.
proud of you. Huh? Very happy. Did you call Vasu sir?
Yes. I'm in touch with him. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. I remember those years, those days.
Yeah.
I was with you all. Nizamabad.
Yes.
Then I couldn't return one day. If Almighty graces, we'll meet again.
Yes, sure. I know.
How is your mother? How old is she?
She is 76 years old. So
76. My mother too is 79. Okay,
okay.
but
Hmm.
some has, she's elderly. She has some age-related issues, but she's
Hmm.
okay. Yeah. So how is your family? Your kids?
Everybody's fine. They're doing fine. Yeah. I have one daughter and one son.
Oh,
Daughter is in high school. I mean ninth grade. The son is he's younger. He's just 5 years, 6 years now.
they are in Hyderabad or in
They're in California.
California?
Yeah,
Los Angeles. Which place of California?
Bay Area. I am in near San Francisco somewhere.
San Francisco. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Anyhow, very happy to see you.
yeah. Charlie,
When are you going back?
I'm here till the middle of January. I will be heading back on January 19th, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can attend, even from there, you can attend the meeting.
Oh yeah. Last time I tried to. Yeah, I dialed in. It was.
Unfortunately, I couldn't attend. Earlier, 2 meetings I couldn't attend. So this time I thought somehow I will attend. It was my strong decision. So I was waiting for that.
Okay.
Let us start with prayer,
Yeah,
sir.
you can start. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
3 Omkaras. Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avataravarishtaya Ramakrishnaaya te namaha Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Prayositva Pranamami Murmuru Namaste Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchitsukaswarupaya Swamine Tapahari Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramaddanam Devaki Paramanandam Vande Jagadgurum Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat Sajjana Shanti Mahmayat Shanto Muchet Bandebhyo Muktan Anyan Vimokshet Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhanattu Sahaviryam Pradavahai Vedasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukhabhat Bhavet. Hari Om. So, welcome you all. So, I remember when I happened to see some faces here, and nearly 25 years back, more than 20 years. So there was one student, he was in intermediate, and he used to come to me every day, the evenings. Then he was, of course, intelligent student. Many, what we call, his family members and relatives, more estimations. So he would become so like that and like this. So he used to come to me not to discuss about his subject or about his career, but we used to discuss this spiritual aspects, spiritual things on. So many times I insisted him not to come regularly, but despite of that, he used to come regularly, particularly in the evening hours. So he is none other than Abhay. He is Abhay. So now I am recollecting. Of course, I would like to know from Abhay, and what was the what you call the bonding force, or what made him to come regularly. So though I insisted him not to come regularly, so Sundays you may come, but it continued, not one day or 2 days, months together it happened. And we used to go to sometimes Ram Mandir and Nagaresh temple. There we discuss that, and so mostly in my house. So now I ask our Abhay is there. So share with us what was your mind telling in those days. Though I said not to come, but what forced you to come? And all these things, just you share, then I proceed. Abhay.
So yeah, so
What?
it was quite a. I mean, not just for me, but all students in our that age. It's a quite a tumultuous time where you're supposed to. I mean, where failure is not an option. You just have to exceed. You just have to do, exceedingly well everywhere. And I was no different. Just trying to do my best. But somewhere there was a disconnect. One day probably I met you somewhere on the road near Gandhi Chowk somewhere, and you just said hi. How are you? And I said, yeah, I'm probably
Opposite to
Bapuji. I
Bapuji was
remember
calling back.
Bapuji Vashnala. Yeah, Bapuji Vashnala. I remember.
SBH.
And you said, what are you doing? I said, I'm intermediate, doing this. That is not what I asked. What are you doing? I said, I'm doing intermediate still. No, but that you're just running. Everybody does that. Maybe an ant also does that. to keep itself, you know, that is what you're doing. But is there something else that you're doing? I was not, I did not understand what that meant at that point. But eventually, by the evening, I was still thinking about that. Why did you ask that? And you said, if you still want to do something, I mean, probably I don't remember the exact conversation, but you said something like, you know, everybody lives like this. I mean, Swamiji says, even ant lives for itself. Are a human being, so probably you should do something better. Meet me sometime when you can, and we can talk about it. Something, I mean, roughly something like that. You said. Anyway, I did not pay much attention, but by evening it was growing on me. The thought was growing on me, and I was growing slightly restless, thinking that I'm doing everything possible as a trying to be a good son, a good student, a good everything good. And how dare someone say that I'm still not doing? You know, I'm just doing the usual run of the mill stuff. Am I? I'm supposed to be, if not at least excellent, I should be at least, you know, I should be something. But your what do you call that? It somewhere it punctured something inside. I was quite restless. I remember even talking to my dad. I told him that he observed something and he asked me what happened. And after 2 days, I told him that, you know what, I met somebody and he told me this, and I'm not feeling well about myself. He just smiled. He said, "Well, interesting." He did not judge or he did not say anything more. But he said, "Good." That's all. He just smirked at me and said, or maybe he thought, okay, this is. I don't know what he thought. He never told me. He was a man of very little words. So, but he listened carefully and he said, "This is interesting. Yeah, this is good." And I still wasn't. After 2 days, or I think 3 days, I talked to Naresh, I believe. Naresh was with me, of course, at that time because he knew your house. I did not know your home at that time. He said, I can take you. Fine, let's go. I told him that I'm feeling so restless. Maybe we should go and talk to him. What was he saying? And I don't know the house. Let's go. And he accompanied me. And that's when it started. And yeah, I didn't know why I used to come. I mean, I was thinking that how can somebody of, who's working so hard and who's trying to help his family in all possible ways, and how can he still be a run of the mill guy? I think that punctured my ego or something like that, I believe. And then I think you gave me that the third volume, Colombo to Almora lectures, and said, yeah, just go through these. These will tell you that this is not what you should be doing. Yeah, this you should be doing this, but there is something more that you should be doing than this. And I was okay, fine. Let's see. Well, I mean, everybody knows about Swamiji. I mean, as you should know, in India, I think Swamiji is not a something that you hear. I mean, you always hear about Swamiji, good things about Swamiji, and but that was the first time I was reading anything serious about him. I mean, what is he talking about? What is he? Earlier, it was only personality cult, probably. You just know, oh, Swamiji is great. But why is he great? Yeah, maybe he went to somewhere into alien land and spoke something about Hindu religion. Yeah, that's about it. And what did he speak about? What is he talking about? So those were some interesting lectures. I read through them. It kind of it kind of was a welcome distraction from what when I was very well focused on so much on or maybe it made me realize that I was thinking I was very much focused on learning or studying something, but it made me realize I was very much focused on the result rather than the process of the whole thing. And some things change after that, and few more things change. And by the end of that whole year, I was getting much less excited about my academic progress. it was happening. Whatever it was, I was okay with it. But I was also thinking about other things, some things that I've never thought about in a serious manner. I mean, in Hindu families, I think I was listening to JP Sir's talk the other day when he talked about his mother and family. In our families, it's very easy to get all these ideas. I mean, devotion, bhakti, and stuff like that is our grandmothers. They give us in. I mean, even if they have nothing else to give, they pass on these ideals very easily to us. But uh, but they pass on at an age when we are not, we when we don't understand how to, use these so-called tools. But this was the time when I was at a cusp where I could understand all this, how these are meant to be used to channelize your life in a much more rational manner rather than just running after something. Um, and by the end of, I think, after coming to you, talking to you, I mean, I don't know what we used to talk. We used to talk in tidbits, we used to talk in few stuff, probably you used to tell us something, but overall my anxiety was coming down about what I would become, or will I be able to live up to my family's expectations? Will I be able to do? There were so many things going on in my mind at that time, because I was supposed to be the what do you call, the usual middle class escape route for the family from the usual stuff into something better life. I was the trump card or something like that, and somehow I also started believing that. And I mean, I was too naive probably, or too, I mean, that's how we just, I think, in our families, the eldest son is brought up like that, as if he's the Hercules and he's carrying the whole world on him, whole world or whole hopes of the family on him. And I was no different. And yeah, we were going through very very bad times also, personally, in family as well. So a lot of things. So it was an interesting, melee of problems that I was, and I was coming with some kind of non-conventional solution to keep my mind calm at that the same time. And somehow suddenly the success, which was so much important, uh, just became yet another factor. It was no longer important that I should succeed in anything. I should just keep trying, and maybe success will come, or whatever I get is, I mean, I should be content with it. And contentment was definitely growing. By the end of first year, I was different, and by the end of second year, or between when I met you and then I started thinking about these things, I was much different guy. And by the end of second year, I whatever totals I made, I was very happy. I mean, I was first time I was feeling happy about myself, even though I did not score in as much as I should have in my tests or whatever it is. I did not live up to sir's expectations as well, probably. But I was happy. But somehow it was a strange feeling to me, that I could be happy, because in the same situation a year ago, I was really very very sad about myself. Anyway, so those were some of the things. I think I was looking for something peaceful. I knew some point. I mean, there was no end to this. That after this goal, after 10th, I thought, okay, maybe next 2 years it will be done, and then I knew that after these 2 years, something else will come, and then I will be chasing that, and after that, something else would come. Probably I was, and this kind of a buffer experiment, that the I would call it still an experiment, but this gave me some kind of buffer to think through, that how my life would be like chasing all this. And then it kind of brought some kind of it gave me some kind of tools to, whenever I'm so excited or so focused or so sad or so whatever it is, to think that this is nothing, this will pass on, but there is something else that. And I think I still, maybe I'm not, probably I'm not that, uh, maybe I would say I have digressed from the path a little bit, but still, when these things come back to my mind, it exerts a very calming experience. Maybe it is just for half an hour a day, but I still cherish these thoughts that we started with a motive. Yes, we digress, but then we can go back. We can always go back. There is always a hope that I will go back to uh, those 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 days where there was an intense longing not to achieve something, but just to maintain internal calm and peace and see a different perspective of all these things, of what is happening, and look at things from an observer standpoint rather than being an active involvement into anything. So these are things that we know. We keep reading about this, but we never experience them. So it's like doodh mein makhan. It is always there. When mother takes it out, yeah, once in a while you taste it, it's fine. But when you start doing it, and when you realize what is it, and then the observer nature in you kicks in, it's a very very beautiful experience. And I experienced that during that time. I was just trying to be observer rather than being reactive to every damn thing going on in my life, and it helped me a lot. I believe I would have been a very different person otherwise. But yeah, those are those are some of the thoughts that I can recollect.
Good. So that we call it as a stabilizer. So generally in our day-to-day life, in older days, we used to think of the stabilizer we got. So old model TV, and when there is a fluctuations and in power, yes, high voltage and low voltage, and the screen, whatever you see, would not be disturbed. So that stabilizing capacity we have to develop in spiritual sense. Here when the power is more or less, but it stabilizes sense whatever the possible power is needed to the for the utility point of view. So in the same way, when we materialistic life, when we grow, and unless and until you have the stabilizing capacity, otherwise you will be driven away. And we have many examples in our uh, what we call Sachin Tendulkar and his close friend, and probably mostly in cricket experts, they say that, and his friend is more skillful than this Sachin Tendulkar. You know what is his name?
Humbly.
Yes, Vinod Kambli. And last time, you in paper newspaper, we got the information about a football, a magic player in football. And in the same way, we have Mandolin Srinivas. So wonderful is a foreign equipment, foreign instrument, musical instrument, and is in that field. Is no comparison. He's in a peak level. At the age of 40, he left his body. So Sri Ramakrishna says that before entering into this samsara, of course, samsara in the sense a materialistic life or mundane life, you have to undergo certain spiritual experiences. Otherwise, the life become so, what you call, a merciful. You can't enjoy our life. So many problems we face. And he used to give an example, the householder life. It is like the house, the all walls, 4 walls, or with soot Soot means, when we burn a kerosene lamp, a black material comes. That is called soot, S-U-I-T. So the four walls are with that soot covered with. And whatever, what you call precautions you take, but somehow you will get intact with that. That soot may touch your body. So that is the life. And Lord Krishna says that Anityam Asukham Lokam Imam Prapya Bhajamyaham. This world itself there is no sukha in this life, in this world. And Anitya it is. Anityam Asukham Lokam. So, and many dualities are there in this life. We see more dualities. They are called in Dvandvas in our Vedanta. Sukha Dukha, Sitoshna, Mana, Avamana. So these are all called dualities. So these are all quite common. So when we are in young age, and we should have this knowledge, this spirituality. And that spirituality is nothing but, Swamiji says that religion is nothing but realization. It is not simply some do's and don'ts. And morning, our this gym class, Balavikas class, I gave this example. Say, using some, lighting lamp. And nowadays, they say you have to use so-and-so oil. If you use this oil, you will get, the result will be good. And using 2 weeks or 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and based on that, you will get some merits. And facing of that lamp, that prakasha, deepa prakasha, and you will get this and this result. And using what you call tulsi or rudraksha and ekamukha, so, or using a particular ring, and you will get rid of certain problems. So this is not religion, what Swamiji says. And we used to discuss the same with Abhay and our Srinivas and Naresh, and of course Mahendra, he joined later. And we used to discuss these things. There is higher life is there. So our Sanatana Dharma says, tatah kim, tatah kim, tatah kim. So you have achieved something. Yes. Then what next? You have to pose a question. So don't satisfy with that. Tatah kim. So what next? What next? Raghunatha also used to say many times like this. So you have achieved in mundane life also this. Then what next? So if you ask this question, then you will think of higher things. Because the real nature of this man is Satchit Ananda. We are not happy with what we possess. Even knowledge point of view, we are not happy with what wisdom that we possess. We need more. And even this span of life. So we want to exist. It means everlasting. It means permanent. So our real nature is that. So these are all instincts. Internally they are there. But they are what we call hidden. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudo atmana prakashate, Upanishad says that. So this divine spark, the divine chip, is there. Esha sarveshu bhuteshu, in all bhutas it is there, but na prakashate. It is not manifesting. So it is hidden. But we are not aware of that. So most of the people. So when master comes, of course, I am, those days I used to say, so just I am a senior, you are in a junior intermediate, now I am in senior intermediate. So don't treat me as a master, as a guru. Yes. Then I used to tell the same. Then the real master is there somewhere else. He is, later I told them. But when that yearning, restlessness in our life comes. And there are two ways of restlessness. One is real restlessness, and another one is restlessness is the result of this dvandvas. So when we are not in a position to cope up the situation or prevailing conditions, and you will be more restless. But you have everything. You are an intelligent student, and your life would be par with the expectation of the parents, and that you have that confidence is there with you, and somehow you exist in this world in better way compared to others. But this is not the ultimate goal. This is not the real goal. Despite of this all comforts and everything is going a soothing atmosphere, and mundane life point of view, materialistic world point of view, everything is okay, and everybody is appreciating, and I am coming out with flying colors in my studies. But the real life when starts means when, though you have all these things, compared to other people, what they expect, they think the same. You have to come out with flying colors in examinations, and achieving something, and getting a good job, a good salary, and all these things. But despite of this, when there is a restlessness, so I have to achieve something more than this. I'm not happy with this. So when that idea thought comes, then naturally that yearning comes, that restlessness comes. So this restlessness is a positive way of restlessness. It means it makes you to lead a worthy life, a peaceful life, a real happy life. But otherwise, what happens? Just you are happy with only this materialistic life. And the Vedanta says that, other day I gave one example, I think, this Paramananda Shishya story. You are studying everything. You don't know about your
on mute.
So just my sincere request, just mute all of you. It's better to mute than when there is a scope, there is we can choice, we can discuss. So Naresh, welcome to Naresh. So now I read out Swami Janganathan Maharaj some his one or two paragraphs from his quotations related to this. Then let us have more discussion. And here 1-2 sentences just I change, only 1-2 sentences remaining same. Last week we in India celebrated our annual festival of Deepavali, a festival of joy and festival of lights. People take oil bath and have plenty of eating, particularly varieties of sweets, and children have fireworks. Houses and business premises are tastefully lighted, and all have a joyous day. Once a year at least, we have a festival of joy, but the rest of the 364 days of the year are days of struggle and unhappiness in varying degrees to most people. But Vedanta asks, why should such joy be ours only for one day in a year? Is it not possible to have joy and just more often? Nay, every day of the year, every minute of our life? Can we not squeeze joy from every action of ours and from every minute of our life? The sign of the freedom of the human spirit, Vedanta says that is possible for every human being. If and when he or she realizes that his or her very nature is joy, ananda, it is Satchit Ananda, existence, knowledge, and bliss. And that joy is coming from external senses. Contacts are far inferior in quality and quantity and are costly too in terms of money. And Vedanta measures human evolution by this criterion, namely, the less the dependence on external sources, the purer the joy level, the higher the life level, and the greater the experience of freedom. All external dependence is unhappiness, and all dependence on oneself is happiness. Know this to be the characteristics of happiness and unhappiness. So this is just one paragraph from Ranganathan Maharaj. Of course, we too celebrated recently that festival, and Swamiji is saying that, of course, that day so many varieties of sweets and joy, but he's saying that the rest of 364 days of the year, struggle and unhappiness in varying degrees to most people. But Vedanta asks, why should such joy be ours only one day in a year? Is it not possible for every action of ours? And also says that this is our real nature, Sachitananda. And also Swami is saying that the knowledge and bliss and that joy is coming from external senses, contacts are far inferior in quality and quantity and are costly too in terms of money. And Vedanta measures human evolution by this criterion, namely the less dependence of external sources, the purer the joy level. So this is more important point. So the quality and quantity, these two terms Swami Ranganathan Maharaj frequently uses. The qualitative life and quantitative life. So quality life means the joy coming from within, quality. And quantity means the joy comes from external things. And Swamiji, he used all external dependence is unhappiness, all dependence on oneself is happiness. So this is in our Sanatana Dharma, it says that Sarvam Paravasham Dukkham, Sarvam Atmavasham Sukham. So Sarvam Paravasham Dukkham. So dependence on outer things or external things is Dukkham. But Atmavasham Sukham. So if you depend on your own self, that qualitative happiness, it means it is our real nature, Satchitananda Ranganath, that Vedanta says. So this is everlasting joy. And here Swamiji used, mostly we say that now we are happy, we have comforts, all basic necessities, and scientific gadgets, and everything. But Swamiji, he used a particular word. He said that remaining days, varying degree, that struggle and unhappiness in varying degrees to most of people. So it is varies from it means that unhappiness is not same. The restlessness is not same, but some variation is there. Yes or no, but that is there. But that is not our real nature. What Vedanta says that don't lead your life like that, because many times I used to say, I give this example, anything that is produced by a man, any scientific gadgets, so right from the beginning of its existence or entering into this world, the very moment comes out from the industry, after verification, They say they check, okay, checked, and quality checking, and lastly they send to the market. So that best quality, let us say a best quality scientific gadgets, a iPhone, let us say Apple company phone of particular what we call model, or any other Samsung or any other best quality scientific gadgets. So when it is marketed, when it is being produced, right from that day, when you start using it, and whatever the what we call chip designers embedded, they certain things, it has to come out with a particular features. They already planned, they designed. So right from the day of using, it starts uses. Whatever the features, it has to manifest. So that phone is manifesting right from the day of it using until it gets spoiled. Is it clear? Then what about this man? He's quite different here now. It is not happening in case of all same branded, same featured phones. Whoever uses this, wherever they use, and same features are coming out. WhatsApp or messages or any Quizlet or mind map or whatever it may be, the features. But what happened to this man when he is nicely designed and everything is well established, all organ systems, nice coordination, cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, wonderfully it is there, 5 sense organs of action, sense organs of perception and experience and taste and other things, and panchakoshas, buddhi, and manas, and the soul, and well equipped. But what happened to this man as he grows? As he grows, 5th class, 7th class, 10th, inter, degree, and qualification is increasing, and knowledge is increasing, and after completion of education, he settles, get a job or something, but he's not happy. And I used to say frequently this also, just a person, he is now well established, well off, and nice position in his company, and everything is there. And if you ask, how are you? Fine, he says. But after 1 hour, after acquainting, in the very beginning, he say, nice, fine, everything is okay, it's going on. But after 1 hour, and in our discussion, if the same persists, and slowly comes out one or another problems. But the Vedanta says that despite of these problems or these difficulties, these dvandvas, but you can lead a peaceful life, a joyful life. All the achievers, all the great personalities, they faced many challenges, many problems, but they are so happy. And another wonder thing, their devotion to their Almighty increased. The more the problems they faced, the more challenges they faced, but more their devotion towards their God, home deity, or the whom he likes more. They never gave up. It intensified. Their love towards that God intensified. And the conviction, whatever the life they want, they would like to lead, and they never get back 1 inch also. and with more intention, with more vigor, they proceeded. So what was the reason behind it? Externally, we think that they are facing many problems. The whole society opposed them. Their kith and kin opposed them. But they did not give up their ideals and their spiritual life. And what was the reason behind it? And that Swamiji says that, Ranganatha is saying that, or Sanatana Dharma is saying that they depend more on themselves. Themselves means in the spirit or the God, both Purusha Prayatna and surrender to God. It means Sarvam, that happiness here, or Swamiji is saying that joy is coming from external senses contacts are far inferior in quality and quantity and are costly too in terms of money. So nowadays the whole world is trying to derive happiness in the world by getting more materialistic things, having more comforts, and they are too costly. They are costly. And the result of that it is, what is that? Less quality and inferior. So it is so wonder. See, generally in industry, with ordinary material, we get more good product. The return should be more. With less input, that output should be more in an industry. But here, this is what is happening. In industry, that is okay. But in real life, what is happening? The costly life, we are thinking that enough salary compared to fast life. In olden days, there is no attached bathroom and no air coolers, air conditions, and no mosquito repellers, and just one bathroom being shared by the whole family members. Yes, but now how many comforts are there? But the restlessness is increasing. So psychosomatic disorders are more increasing. Psychiatrists are more increasing. I also used to say the same in Nizamabad. When I was, you were there in Nizamabad, there were no psychiatrists in Nizamabad. But now nearly more than 3 doctors came to Nizamabad. But what happened? What is wrong? So all are well educated, qualification is increasing, comforts are increasing, but the psychiatrists, the doctors also, they are increasing. So when you get more knowledge, it means inter degree, PG or MBA, MCA, hardware, software, computer knowledge. So the more knowledge you are getting, so more you should be challenging. You have to face the problems. But what is happening? Reciprocal to that, right? Reverse to that. The only reason is that sarvam paravasham dukkham, sarvam atmavasham sukham. So that real happiness that is lies within. It is our real nature. But we are striving, we are searching outside. And that I used to say to our Abhay and Naresh and Srinivas and later Mahendra, of course, acquainted. And Mahendra also, he was my student in another school. Of course, Naresh, he was in another school. And Abhay and another school. So three were different school students when they were school going children. But later, that spiritual bond, and I used to say to our JP sir, so he left and he went to Maldives, and in one of my letters I wrote, sir, spiritual bond is so strong, it never fails. Now it is proved. Now we are, of course, there was a contact, letters through letters, later land phone, now cell phones, now this the modern technology result of the Zoom app. Now again, somewhere we are so associated. This is called spiritual bond. This is called spiritual bandhavya. And this gives real happiness. And compared to our own family members. In Ramakrishna Math, see, The Swamijis in Baranagar Mutt, they are just 18, 19, 20 age group, and there that place, more the snakes and wolves, scorpions, and Swamiji says that even devils, they get frightened to leave such a place, and they lived, and they did not get food. And he used to get food that in those days there was no fermentation process, bread. They used to eat that just when they prepared chapati, just they used to keep like that only, months together. And when they go for alms, when they turn one by one, and they used to give such hardened chapati. And Swamiji said in one of his lectures after returning in his Colombo to Almora, so while eating, the blood used to come out, ooze out. It means it was such a hard, and even they used to keep soak in water. But even though, then it was so hard, and the blood used to come out from. So such a hardship they faced. But all the young, what you call, devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, no food, proper food, no clothing. Sometimes only go kaupinam for some disciples, and no proper food, no comforts. But they were so happy because there was a love. That love, that spiritual bond made them together. It means they enjoyed a lot. Externally, they faced many problems. No comforts, no food, shelter, clothing, all these basic necessities. But they enjoyed immense happiness. They experienced. That is the real nature of every human being. So it is our birthright. So why don't we strive for that? It is our very nature. Satchitananda, here Swamiji is saying that. Vedanta says that it is possible for every human being if and when he or she realizes that he or she is very nature is joy, that Ananda, Satchitananda, existent knowledge and bliss. This is our real nature. We have to realize that. We should know that. But most of the people, in the name of religion, just peripherally, just some do's and don'ts and some rounds, or wearing some rudraksha, or what you call tulsi mala, or lighting lamp with this oil or that oil, or with 1 week or 2 weeks wicks, and particular this oil, it is good, that good. Only this peripheral. No, dive deep. Sri Ramakrishna used to say in his songs, say, dive deep, dubo, dubo, dubo. Go deep and deep into the ocean. In peripherally, you will see, you will get only pebbles. Yes. But if you dive deep, deep and deep, and you will get gems. That is why tatakim. Don't stagnate. And Sri Ramakrishna used to tell one parable, and he said, one guy, he said to another person, so in forest, yes, go ahead. So he got one, what you call, sandalwood, and he recollected. He said, no, go ahead. He said, no, go further. And he got that gold ore and mines. And he said, no, don't. He said, go ahead. And he went on, and the jewels and these diamonds he got. So what do you mean by this? It means Sanatana Dharma says that don't satisfy with what you possess. Don't satisfy with that. And what next? What is the higher things? What is the higher way of joy? The higher way of joy we want. The quality, in general life, we ask everything for quality and quality. Even if you go to a market and we want a quality phone, want quality cloth, a quality vehicle, or quality food. So everything quality. But why don't we live the qualitative life? It means when you lead qualitative life, then happiness also quality. It means with less material, less comforts, and more joy And that is the message of India to the whole world, Swami Vivekananda says. The world, the foreign countries and European countries, they are saying that we can lead a life with more gadgets, more materialistic things. And India said that, no, the real happiness, the blissful condition, everlasting happiness, we can lead such a life with less material, less things, because that is intrinsic. The real happiness is within. And that is why when we are in satsang, in olden days, that's why I ask you, even JP sir also asked the same. When we were in Nizamabad, in our satsang Sundays, we used to meet. And those days, no comforts, no name and fame, no bank balance, but how much happiness we derived. And where does it come from? And it is our real nature, it is within. When we realize that, we have to know that, next we have to strive for that. Then naturally, when you are striving for that, and naturally we lead, our footsteps are towards that journey, that path, to realize our real nature. The real nature is Satchitananda. And this comes with our Purusha Prayatna and surrender to our Almighty. See, both should go together. And Swamiji used to say, I call him an atheist who what you call, generally we think that atheist means who does not believe in God. But he says that I call him an atheist who does not believe in himself. He may believe in 300 crores of gods, but he does not believe on his own self, and he's an atheist. So have faith in yourself, then have faith in God, what Swami Vivekananda says. So have faith in ourselves means what that faith, not materialistic. So I have this and I can achieve this, I can achieve this. No. What is that faith? What our ancestors said, they realized. And our Vedanta also saying the same. And Sri Ramakrishna Swamiji is saying the same. That what that faith, you are not ordinary human being. No, that your real nature is this. So don't confine to a limited life. So go ahead. A quality life is we want. Qualitative life means quantity, less quantity. In the sense, less burden in our mind also, not external, even less burden in our mind. And Ranganatha Mandir used to say that when you climb a mountain, Everest, so a particular height, and you carry some material. And when you reach certain height, and your luggage lessened and lessened, and ultimately just you call little baggage and only a cylinder and little material you carry. So as you go higher and higher, the luggage decreases. In the same way, as your quality is life is more and more, as you progress more and more, and your luggage is less and less. It means in mind, all unnecessary thoughts or materialistic thoughts and luxurious thoughts, that less and less luggage. That in mind also, the less luggage and more happiness. So when this less luggage in the sense, this materialistic, of course we should not give up the world, give up this home, but there is water, we should be in the water. Yes, ship should be in the water, but water should not enter into this. You should be in the world, but don't be worldly. That don't be samsari, Dr. Ranganatha Maharaj said, Ramakrishna also said. Samsara, but don't be a samsari. Don't dwell with all thoughts. Yes. So for that purpose, and to what you call, tell the same, and we used to meet there. So of course now this time is, of course, time and tides or wait for none. So I went up here. Then next week we discuss more, and based on this, some reflections from JP sir, Mahinder, Naresh. Last time, of course, Naresh has not shared his thoughts. Naresh, please come out with your ideas. Naresh, unmute and video also on your video and
Namaskar, sir.
yes.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Pranam to everyone.
Yes.
Sorry, I could not join last week because I was traveling. So I'm really happy that we are meeting again in this forum. It has been so long time that we as the initial satsang members have joined. I think it is close to 20 plus years now that we had our first satsang. And it is so happy to be part of this again. I wish to continue. We have this, I would say, no matter how much we continue with our professional life and all, there should be definitely a helping hand, which I think this satsang is going to give us to steer ourselves and give a purpose. Like sir said, we should have a purpose, and that purpose, this satsang is going to remind us every time, so that we don't get lost completely in the worldly life. So, as sir said, we should be there, part of the world, but we should not be, completely dissolved in the world. So, I think this satsang definitely helps. We should be part of this every week. Thank you, sir, for adding this and continuing this initiative. Right from our days from where we used to meet in the school, and a lot of satsang we had in different places. I think that Sankalpa is what driving this all these years. And I'm happy to be part of your patronage, to be associated with you. I'll definitely be part of this going hereafter. Thank you, sir.
Nice. And frequently now I go to Ramandir. Just I go there and sit. I recollect all the things. And we also went to JP Sir. With JP Sir, we went to Chintakunta. We went there now for whole day retreat. And Anantagiri and Nandigutta and Om Gutta. So those places now frequent. Just I go there. Just I recollect you people. Yes, let us continue. Yes, this is an opportunity, though we are far away, but our mind is with us, our thoughts, in our thoughts we are together. That spiritual bond is there. It is eternal, it is not of this life. Even the relation with the master is not of this life. And this spiritual also, one way or other way, of course, some disturbances, some misunderstandings, even that time also with Swamiji and other disciples. So at the time of Ramakrishna Mission formation, some arguments and that, of course, that are quite common, of course. But internally, that yearning, one way or other way, we recollect that whenever you think of such places or spirituality, and I can visualize all your faces. Yes. Then Mahendra, just so. Meanwhile,
Yes,
JP sir.
Good evening, sir.
Nice.
Good evening.
Mahendra, yes.
So, sir, 1 minute, sir. Good evening to Srinivas, Abhay, and Naresh. Hi. Very much nice to see you all. Thank you, sir, about this meeting, sir. Coming to our points, sir. So, thank you, sir. It's excellent about that happiness, sir. And I felt very much happy. That happiness, yes, it's absolute points, 100%. We follow this, that bliss will be there always. And Thank you, sir, for a good topic. You took a nice topic because that happiness is the major thing. So thank you, sir, for the best topic you choose. Thank you, sir.
Sir, JP sir.
Very good meet today we have had, because Asa says, we go sometimes more than 60 kilometers, 70, 80, 90, by the pressure of the mind. We call it situational compulsion or anything. But maybe by pressure of this guy, this mischievous guy, we go at high speed sometimes. So this is actually we have to apply clutch and brake occasionally, and this is an excellent application of clutch and brake to put ourselves on safety. And as we are on a safer mode, when we are on safer mode, those who live with us, our kith and kin, also will be on a safer mode. As we are happy, the moment we are happy, the one is happy, those who are
Sir, voice is Sir, JP sir, is it not audible? Your voice is not audible, sir. Sir, JP sir.
Maybe he's got disconnected, sir.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Srinivas, so that we can conclude. We can wind up. You share one or two points.
Yes, sir. Yeah. This is really very nice, sir. So we are coming again on a spiritual path. So it's very good to again recollect all our older memories, and going further also, suppose if anything happens also, we can apply your thoughts, and so that we can face any kind of a situation. So always I think master's blessings will be there, and meanwhile like having this kind of satsang also, it gives some kind of a mental peace, and listening to Swamiji words and Swami Ranganathanaji's teachings, so that also helps. So I think we should continue this, and I'm glad with all you all. So yeah, that's what I can say. So it's a good to go, and I'm part of this.
Nice. Then lastly, Abhay.
So there's one more person, I think. There's one more person, some Jyoti or something.
Ganga Prasad is there?
I think so. Some name says Jyoti. Basa Jyoti.
Yes. Jyoti madam, మీరు ఉన్నారా? హలో, జయరామ కృష్ణ. జ్యోతి గారు.
జయరామ కృష్ణ సార్.
జయరామ కృష్ణ.
ఇంగ్లీష్ లో చెప్పలేను.
నో ప్రాబ్లం. నో ప్రాబ్లం.
అదే సత్సంగం మిస్ అవుతున్నా అనుకున్నాను, కానీ మీ ఇంకా కంటిన్యూ చేద్దాం అనేసి వింటున్నాను. క్లాసులు అటెండ్ అవుతున్నాను. పాప పేరు లాస్ట్ వీక్ చెప్పలేకపోయినాను. ఇది ఎక్కువ అలవాటు లేదు కదా సార్. మీరు ఫేస్ టు ఫేస్ వినడమే కానీ జూమ్ లో వినడం బాగుంది. సత్సంగం అనేది ఖచ్చితంగా ఉండాలి. ఎక్స్పీరియన్సెస్ అన్ని బాగున్నాయి. ఇది వింటాం ఇంకా.
సో ఈ బ్యాచ్ అంతా కూడా అప్పట్లో 25 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం మేము ఇంతకు చెప్తుండే కదా సత్సంగం చేసేవాళ్ళం అని. సో వీళ్ళందరూ ఒక్కొక్కరు ఒక్కొక్క ప్లేస్ ఉన్నారు. హైదరాబాద్ లో, బెంగళూరులో, అమెరికాలో, కేరళ. మళ్ళీ కలిసి
టైం మన ఆశ్రమంలో వచ్చారు కానీ వాళ్ళకి తెలుగు, మీరు తెలుగులో చెప్పారు అర్థమైంది, కానీ ఇంగ్లీష్ లో అంటే వాళ్ళకి అర్థం కాదు కదా. మళ్ళీ మన ఆశ్రమంకి తీసుకొచ్చాను నెక్స్ట్. అయితే వాళ్ళందరికీ తెలుగులో వస్తుంది, ఇంగ్లీష్ లో ఏం అర్థం కావట్లేదు సార్. అది
అంటే ఇక్కడ జేపీ సార్ ఉన్నారు. సార్లు కేరళ, ఈస్ ఫ్రమ్ కేరళ. సో వాడిని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని మనం ఇంగ్లీష్ లో మాట్లాడాల్సి వస్తుంది. సార్కి తెలుగు రాదు, మలయాళం సార్, మలయాళం సారు. కాబట్టి తెలుగు సార్కి అర్థం కాదు. స్వామీజీ మన పూర్ణదాస్ స్వామీజీని కలిసాం, జేపీ సారు. మేము వెళ్ళి కలిసాము. మా సత్సంగం కూడా పిలిపించామని చెప్పాను కదా అప్పుడు. జేపీ సారు మేము చేసినప్పుడు మేము కలిసాం కూడా సార్ని, అదే స్వామీజీని మార్కండేయ మందిరంలో.
జేపీ సార్ కూడా కలిసారు.
సో నైస్. జయ రామకృష్ణ. And now Abhay, lastly, so that we can wind up.
Yeah, so thank you for hosting this. This is really I mean, I have no words to say, express that we I mean, yeah, we keep hearing the bad side of technology. I mean, for the first time I'm finding we're putting the technology to better use, even though we are reviving our old connections this way. And it's great to be, what should I say, to be back. We are back. Okay. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah. I think let's keep this going and rejuvenate or start from where we left. That's all I want.
So let us wind up. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Sri Rama Krishna arpanamastu.